Hey everybody, today I have started a YouTube channel. I'm going to start documenting, as you can tell from the thumbnail, my journey into selling comic books. So I know you're thinking you'll be like, oh, it's like the same thing. We're going to see if we can get some expensive ones. We're going to see if we can get some cheap ones and we can try and maximize our profits. This channel is not about that. This channel is, if that's what you're looking for, leave now. Just go, right? I want to try create something that's enjoyable for everybody. I want to create a store that is affordable for everybody because we're currently like in the UK, cost of living crisis, blah blah blah. You probably hear it every other day. So you want to get into comic books in this day and age. I want to say I'm in Aberdeen in Scotland. You probably in the two local stores, you're probably looking at least say 350 onwards to collect your monthly issue, right? And that's if it's monthly. We're not going to talk about if it's fortnightly. Let's just pretend it's monthly. So you're a kid, you're like 7, 8, and you want to collect Spider-Man. Okay, so like I don't know about everybody. Everybody's different, but it just seems crazy that if you want to get into it, you're going to walk into a store, and the chances of you walking in and there's a number one issue and you run starting is probably actually quite likely because it feels like everything gets rebooted every 6 months. But that's not the point. You got to like the chances of going in and getting a story from start to finish is very unlikely. And I know you can go into like the trades and that kind of thing, but I also don't think that's the cheapest option either. But you're a kid, and like you might have to spend like 20, 30 quid sometimes just to kind of start to build a foundation of a collection and actually start to see like a story form. And with the release of all these Marvel movies and shows coming out, I hope kids are trying to get more and more into it, but I think one of the biggest gatekeepers of comic collecting is the introductory price. And then you've got like, oh, you want to have different, you start getting to your variants and your artists, and rightly so that retail stores try to mark that up to try, keep the lights on, because we know it's not an industry that's always thriving. But it must be so hard for kids and even collectors, even adults trying to just be like, oh, I collect Spider-Man, I collect Venom, I collect Avengers, and to keep going. And if you like six different characters, which isn't crazy, so let's pretend I'm a Spider-Man fan. It's not really my thing. I'm a Ghost Rider Punisher person. But anyway, we're talking, I want to do Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man. I want to do Spider-Man. I want to do Miles Morales. I want to do Venom. And then any spin-off one-shot that comes from that. You're talking, if it's monthly, because some of them are bi-weekly, some of them have events that are weekly, we're talking 20, 25 quid a month at least on just collecting some Spider-Man comics, because we could really expand it. We could go into any Gwen Stacy Spectacular, God, Peter Porker, anything. Where do you stop, right? And then events, right? So Spider-Verse happens, and everybody's involved in Spider-Verse, and you want the complete story. I've now got to dive into like 10 or so other issues to get it, and if everything's like £4, and then when there are bulkier issues and stuff, it starts to get to £5 or £6. Maybe I'm different, but when I was a kid, I think like we were made to work for like, not work, we're not like in a coal mine or anything, but like you would do your chores and stuff in the house, and I think I got like 20 pence times my age. So like when I was 10, I got like £2 for like doing like an hour's worth of chores, like something like that. And yeah, I want to do something that's just a bit more affordable for kids and adults alike, collectors alike. I just think we're in an age where we need it to be a bit more budget friendly. So I started a Vinted store. I chose Vinted for a few reasons. Mostly it was because of the I think the fees on that on eBay for the price point I want to do is a bit crazy, because although I'm kind of trying to create something that's um, for everybody, I can't do it at a loss, or else I would not do it. I still need to get something out of this to continue. So I've chosen Vinted for now. I've dabbled with eBay, um, and still trying to mess with that formula, but we're going to talk about that eventually. But basically, here is the model. I buy joblets of comics, collections, anything like that, and I price every single comic I find for £2. So, and this is going to get, I will show you, when we start to this channel, I'm going to show you every lot I buy and every collection I get. There's probably things that I sell and you'll go, oh my god, wait, don't do that. Don't sell that for £2. That's worth way more. But doesn't matter. That's not the aim. We want people to get cool comics for cool prices. That's basically it. That all that babble I just did for 10 minutes. That's all I want to do. Cool comics, cool prices. I mean, like, if I flip through a box, and I'll show you these boxes, I'll try to be as open and honest as possible about it, but if I find Action Comics #1, in theory, I'm going to sell that for £2. I don't think we're going to find Action Comics #1, but we'll see. No, I'm not saying Action Comics #1, but we might find some cool 5, 10, maybe £15 comic books, and we'll list it for £2, and maybe someone will pick it up. I've been doing this for 6 months, so there's already aspects of this going. It's a business at the end of the day. I kind of want to see if people support this kind of model. So currently we've got a Vinted store. There's about 500 issues. There's almost 500 issues listed. And every single one of them is £2. They come bagged and boarded. I think they look nice. There's Marvel, there's DC, it's a little bit indie. I want to get into that in further videos as to should we shy away from indie or is it still worth it to buy bulk of indie and list it for these prices? And yeah, so basically the model's this: £2 a comic, but you buy 2, you get 5% off. You buy 3, you get 10% off. You buy 5, you get 25% off, which I know, like, in a business sense, that 3 to 5 is almost crazy, because then you buy 3 and it's like, well, for one more it's only like 30p, but it's about cool comics at cool prices. So, like, the most common thing we see probably at our Vinted store is it's 5 comics for £7.50. I mean, I don't see how anybody can hate that. I think that's great prices. But do you know what? You guys let me know. Am I still ripping people off? Can we do better? What's the best way we can go about this? So currently there's 500 in the store. There's debt in this business already. There's a backlog of inventory in this business already. There's more inventory coming. And like, so we have 500 listed. I want to say there's about 1,000 to still list from just like general buying bulk loads of comics for just little boxes, or buying comics with the intentions of doing this and then never touching it for like years. I've got a 1,500 comic lot coming from a comic wholesaler. I'm not going to say the name in case they don't want me to say the name. They probably do, but when the video comes, I'll get their permission and we'll talk about it. What I'll do is every day I will tell you what's sold. I will tell you what's listed potentially. I don't know yet. I'm still kind of making this up. I kind of got the inspiration of this video series from a YouTuber called It's Phantom, but he does Pokemon cards, and he kind of says the ups and downs of running a TCG business. That's the reason he says it and I don't. And I just think it's great. I love the transparency. I love him building something and you see it day to day. And he's got great advice, and he is amazing at probably telling you like how to build a TCG business from scratch. But I will say this channel is not going to be about a wealth of knowledge. It's probably going to be more you guys helping me. I would love to eventually get into shows. I can't really see me taking this model to a retail physical bricks and mortar store, especially not in the UK where like it just seems like you're punished for trying to do a business here at the moment. But that's a different video for another time. But yeah, if that's going to be the kind of thing you like, tune in. We'll try list a few videos. I don't really know the schedule yet. Daily would be nice, but time, right? And yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm now going to show you for a lot that I got today from Vinted. It was like 27 comics, and I think once you had like delivery and buyer protection, it was like £16 in total. So again, right now that's really expensive. So I'm buying it at like 60p. And then I'm going to put a bag and board in it, which currently I'm getting for like 12 pence per bag and board, resealable. So if you guys know any better ways of doing that, let me know. Will I buy collections? Probably. If you guys have collections and you want to sell them to me, let's see. But yeah, so going into the first few videos, we're going to talk about what's already established. Because there's money sitting there, because we started it from nothing, kind of. What we've done is just basically like sold stuff. Like we've not put money into it. We've basically sold what was mostly comics, some toys and Funkos and that kind of thing, and put this onto a pot, and it's built up to a few grand. So now we're looking to use that to buy more. Then there's debt, because there's a company credit card, which we'll talk about in a video as to why I've done that. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be the gist of it. We'll start from tomorrow where we talk about sales and what's sold. But if you want to check out the Vinted store, that's going to be a link for that in the description. And there's going to be a Facebook page, which is a bit slow. I've been trying to do crap like comic of the day and things like that, but my consistency on that is, awful. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. If you want to join me on this adventure, God, that sounded cheesy. I wish I hadn't said that now. You get the idea. So this was the bundle that I was talking about earlier that I got from Vinted. Like I said, 27 issues, about the £16 mark. So I'm just going to show you what we got. So we've got Astonishing Spider-Man, The Art of Thwip. I believe this is something to do with they did a digital-only series and they've either continued it or redone it in a physical form, because I'm not really for all this digital stuff. But I think the highlight for me is that I can only imagine Stewie from Family Guy saying this. The art of cool Thwip. I keep saying, like, I shy away from indie, but then we've got some indie comics this one. So I've got the Biker Mice from Mars. To me, that just screams like 90s Danger Mouse, like Thundercats, all that kind of vibe. But let me know if you know about it, if it's good or not. We've got the Immortal Legends Batman. I just think that looks ace, but yeah. And this is what I'm saying. So we've got modern stuff. I want to say this is only like a few months old. So we've got the newest part of Noel's latest run. Yeah, just drop it, break it. Again, these bags are a bit reflective, but you'll get the idea. We've got Miles Morales Spider-Man, issue 42. Again, that's like from 2018 run, maybe. So there's some slightly not older things, but not everything's brand new. Nova Centurion, nullified variant. I think that looks really nice. Another Nova Centurion issue, number 6. So we've got 2 and 6 there. Wade Wilson Deadpool from this year as well, or end of last one of the two. Weapon X-Men variant. Not all these are. Well, let's see. So I've got the Undead Iron Fist. Okay, they're all kind of just glossy, but you get the idea. Power Man Timeless. There's actually 2 of these. There's that one. We've got Avengers from Jed McKay. So that's the run that just finished. Did it finish earlier this year? Or was it the end of last? Anyway, yeah. Always as well. So there's 36 issues, and we've got a lot of them, but we've also sold a lot of them. So I don't mind picking up a few of these, because it just seems like sometimes all of a sudden someone buys 10 of them, and it's great. We've got Battle World. and another battle world. I think stuff like that's going to do well because of like the upcoming like Secret Wars, kind of everything crossing over type thing. People love a crossover, right? So I love that. I want to say it was like the 90s, and like everything crossed over with everything. Like the iconic one for me is Predator versus Jughead from Archie, and it was like that's just never going to happen. You're not going to get that kind of story in TV. You're not going to get it in movie because of licensing. We could be wrong. It might happen one day, but it's unlikely. Now we're getting back into this like Superman, Spider-Man comic, Batman, Deadpool. I just love that crossovers are coming back. And say what you want, Disney buying Fox, one of the best things ever. Now that we're seeing like Alien versus Avengers, Predator versus Spider-Man, and I love that idea of that keeping on going because I think one coming out is at the start of coming out or coming out soon is Predator versus Planet of the Apes. I mean, even though Fox owns both those, Fox Disney owns both those properties, we're never going to get that film. That film is never going to happen. They're never going to let Caesar get slashed to death by a predator. But we're going to see it in comic form. That's why we've got to keep supporting comics. Got to keep comics going. So again, another indie one, I suppose you could say, is we've got Doctor Who. When it does come to, I say indie, but let's just say comics that are not part of the two main ones, I like to keep it at the moment to license stuff. So Doctor Who, some like cartoons, I had like Garfield and stuff in the past. Angry Birds was a surprisingly popular one. For now, that's one I want to keep because things like that, Bikers from Mars, I don't know enough about it to if I'm providing a good price or not, even at £2. Where the Doctor Who comic, I think there's going to be your Whovians who will still go for that. With our Doctor Who, I'm not going to guess how to say his name. But if you guys know, feel free to tell me so I can forget by the next day. Got more Avengers. A Fantastic Four issue. I have to say, although I love the Fantastic Four, I don't sell a lot of the issues. I don't list a lot of them, which is probably why I don't sell them. But I think for a while we had a lot of the Ultimate Run, and to be fair, we found like we had a run of like 1 to 20 or something. I can't remember the exact number, but it included like the first appearance of the Marvel Zombies and stuff like that. So I want to say that's maybe a £8 to £10 comic, and we sold it for £2. We took the whole bundle and sold it. They ended up buying the bundles of 20 for like £1.50 each. So we sold that comic for £1.50. But after that, we never really had much Fantastic Four. I want to say there's a couple of the Thing issues and things like that, but yeah, I'm surprised it doesn't do better. Black Panther, Intergalactic, Marvel Knights, The World to Come. Again, variant issues. We'll find out all about that. Hulk Smash Everything. Another Hulk Smash Everything. We've got a few Wolverine issues here, which I just side note. Who's like buzzing for the new Insomniac PS5 Wolverine game? Me. I don't know if that's the kind of thing I'm going to cover on this channel, but I mean, I guess I could just stream me playing it just for absolute funsies. And then we've got Strike Force with your boy Blade seemingly on it. I don't know much about it, to be honest. I am not a wealth of knowledge when it comes to comics, even though I'm doing this, which seems crazy. I just see stuff and I go, that's cool. But Blade deserves a shout out. He will always deserve a shout out because if you love your superhero movies from Marvel, people will be like, oh, it's because of Spider-Man, it was because of X-Men. No, it was because of Blade, and I will die on that hill. If it wasn't for Blade, you wouldn't have got Spider-Man, and you wouldn't have got X-Men. It was Blade. It was all because of Wesley Snipes' Blade. And yeah. Oh, sorry for that little rant at the end there. That obviously showed a little passion for Wesley Snipes there. But anyway, so yeah, that's what the channel will mostly be. We'll talk about what's listed, what sells, what doesn't sell, what's working, what's not working, what we're up to, what's come in. And yeah, if that's something you want to support, we're going to put the Vinted link in the description of this video. And if you don't want to buy a comic, that's fine. Just like, subscribe, comment, say something, give me some abuse, tell me I'm wrong, tell me I'm right. I'm Ginger. It's really easy to do the abuse thing. Like, we can just go for the classics. It's fine. But yeah, I hope you enjoy, and I hope we see you in the next one.